So I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Right? If you were to start exporting today using Amazon, what category and product would you enter? Basis all these things, right? Because one part is your like.
Oh, that's easy. I have favorite category already.
Yes. Cotton-based bed linen, and I'm going to do the premium version of cotton-based bed linen, which is 1,000 thread count.
And the exact playbook
Yeah.
and how you go about marketing it.
But since I've been working with Amazon for 7.5 years now, I do know the playbook. So I'll ensure that my cataloging is absolutely right, and I'll make sure that I'm advertising very heavily for at least for the first 6 months or so.
Hello, I am Udayan Adhe, and today in this fireside chat, we're going to learn how you can export globally using Amazon while sitting in your home. And for this, we have got none other than the head of Amazon Global Selling, Srinidhi. Thank you so much for coming along.
Thank you for having me.
I always talk about how the single biggest determinant when it comes to achieving big things with your wealth is simply increase your income. Sounds very basic. But today, I'm going to tap into Srinidhi's brain and actually going to tell you, using his insights, of how you can, again, sitting at home, export globally Indian products and how to make it big.
I have seen from my experience of being in Amazon Global Selling, e-commerce exports all said and done is relatively new to India, right? It's maybe a decade old. But what we've been seeing with e-commerce exports is that you don't need too much capital. You could start with very little capital. And with everybody, what we are seeing is that they start small, right? It's a very simple business to run. So all you need to do is find a product that will work with worldwide customers. So if you were to ask me, e-commerce exports, perhaps is the way to go, for a lot of entrepreneurs in India, where you can actually start out with very little capital, yet actually make a huge success out of it.
Let's say we are trying to figure out what to sell. Okay. What I've learned so far is there should be a need for it.
Yeah.
You should have some liking for it as well, and it should be able to make money. Right?
Yeah.
So like an intersection of all these 3 points. So I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Right? If you were to start exporting today using Amazon, what category and product would you enter? Basis all these things, right? Because one part is your likings,
Oh,
your
that's
strengths.
easy. I have favorite category already.
Okay.
That's easy, yeah.
And the exact playbook and how you go about marketing it.
Okay, so I'm going to start with home textiles.
Wow, okay.
I'm going to start with cotton-based bed linen.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to start with. And I'm going to do the premium version of cotton-based bed linen, which is 1,000 thread count. Right? It's available to source in Tirupur. It's available to source in Karur. It's also available to source in certain parts of northern India. I'll go there. I'll find a great exporter there. I'll source it from that. Right? And but since I've been working with Amazon for 7.5 years now, I do know the playbook. So I'll ensure that my cataloging is absolutely right.
By cataloging right, what exactly do you mean? Would you be hiring professionals to do different things?
Yeah, I'll definitely be hiring professional to do that. But also I'm going to use a lot of GenAI, man.
Okay.
Right? I think there are a lot of these tools that we have today that generate videos for you, that sort of write the catalog in a very great way for the customer, and so on and so forth. Right? I'm definitely going to use GenAI. I'll try to figure out a WoW video as you said earlier. Since you put me on the spot, I don't have a creative idea yet on that, right? But I'm sure I'll figure that out. And I'll make sure that I'm advertising very heavily for at least for the first 6 months or so. Right? And most importantly, I'm going to be very patient for the first 9 months.
What was really fascinating there was that Srinidhi went into the very specifics.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Right down to the thread count.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the interesting part. It's clear where India's manufacturing strengths are. It is also, there is a lot of data that is available today which tells you what sells and what does not sell.
You got it. You mentioned using Gen AI
Yeah.
for doing a lot of the cataloging that happens.
Yeah.
Other AI tools that Amazon gives access to?
Oh yeah, I mean there are AI tools that are available today that will tell you about your account health, right? Insights on your account health, how are you doing? So that is something that we are working on. We are also working on video generation, Gen AI tools. That is something that we are working on. I think the thing is that Gen AI is obviously not a static, a point in time thing. It will continue to evolve, but these are the areas that we are focusing on: account health, insights, compliance, cataloging. These are the areas that we continue to focus on.
Let's say someone who is 25, 30 years old has no experience of exporting. And if you were that person, right, with all that knowledge that you've acquired of being very closely involved with Amazon now for almost 8 years,
Right.
how should that person go about it?
I'll do you one better and actually tell you that there are actually 19-year-olds who are actually doing this, and who are actually doing this quite well. So we have this program called Propel. Propel is essentially a program for D2C brands, to sort of enable them on e-commerce exports on Amazon marketplaces worldwide. And as part of the Propel program, very recently, we've had a winner in the hair care space, a founder who is all of 19 years old.
Wow.
Right? And the story is also very interesting. She started the product because, she wanted the product herself. She couldn't find that in the market, so she decided to make one of her own. And not only did she do that, she started exporting, right, via Amazon. I promised you I'll do you one better, and I did. So it's not at 20, not even 25, 30. You could be 19 and do this.
Which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Because 19, you've just about started college
Absolutely.
traditionally.
But that's the beauty that I've seen over a period of time with e-commerce exports, right? It seems to cut across ages. It seems to cut across backgrounds. So it's not as though you need a particular background. It's not as though you need a particular grounding, some training, anything of that sort. You have the right product, and you can just focus on what doing well, which is selling.
Yeah, if I double click on that, right, you said, let's say a carpet maker selling locally has got a decently sized business. If they decide that they want to start selling globally, can they do it?
Oh, they can. We have help available at every stage. So what do you need when you start? The first and foremost thing perhaps that you need is, hey, how do I list my product? There is help available for that.
So it's one search away.
There's stuff available. And then, what's the compliances that are needed? There are statutory compliances and there are product licenses sometimes. There are certifications that you need to take in your destination marketplaces wherever you go to. We make help available there as well, in terms of compliance.
And what is the help like?
We have something known as an export navigator, where, you can actually, it's available online, you could actually search for it, and then you'll actually know what are the compliance requirements, what needs to be done, and so on and so forth. Then logistics is, another big issue that people face, when talking about exports, obviously, right? Logistics becomes a very, very important part of what you're doing. We have our own logistic product called Send, where, we would pick up from your doorstep or, wherever it might be from one particular point, and, everything, we take care of. So that's the point, that, what we are trying to do is that we're trying to simplify this.
So Srinidhi, you mentioned that e-commerce exports is a different beast altogether, right? And it's highlighted in the numbers of Amazon Global Selling, because you recently crossed $20 billion worth of cumulative exports from India.
Yep.
This was by 2025.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sure this journey has been full of lots of surprises. So what's one category or product that has surprised you?
Let me tell you the whole story. Right. So we started in 2015, around a decade ago, our 10th year anniversary incidentally. And when we started with around 100 sellers. And when we started, we said that we're going to do $10 billion in cumulative e-commerce exports in a decade's time, that is by 2025, right? The number was $10 billion to begin with. And if you had asked any one of the people who were running the business at that particular point in time, hey, show me an Excel sheet, how are you going to achieve the $10 billion? I don't think we had it worked out to the last dollar, right? But then we had two convictions. The first conviction was that India has a lot to offer to the world. And the second conviction was that technology can really enable businesses and simplify processes for businesses. And we seem to be vindicated on both counts, because I think it was in 2022 when we actually looked at this $10 billion pledge and said that, oh, looks like we underpromised, right? And we actually literally doubled it that year and said that now we are going to do $20 billion by 2025. But the interesting part is the numbers in itself they're great. We're very happy with the numbers. I mean, they're not very important. What really, makes us get out of bed is the seller stories. When somebody from Badohi selling carpets makes a name for themselves, or when somebody from a Tirupur makes a name for themselves, or a 19-year-old in search of a product makes a name for themselves, or a homemaker looking for a second innings makes a name for themselves, I think that's what makes you get out of bed every day. That is why when I was earlier answering your question of saying, hey, How can you start on this? That's what it's fairly simple. So many people from so many different backgrounds selling so many different products have done it, and that's the revolution here.
You've seen this journey over the last 10 years evolve from very close quarters, right? And so much has changed during that period. We have had a big rise in short form videos. We have had a big rise. There was a pandemic in the middle where the world came to a standstill.
Yeah.
In the past 3 years, AI has been the talk of the town.
Yeah.
People are using it in their workflows.
Yeah.
What do you think, right? Despite so many things changing, what do you think successful sellers have had in common? If I were to ask you 3 traits that they have.
I would say it is very behavioral, right? The first one I would say is discipline in terms of running the right inputs. And the second, which sometimes some people don't have, is patience. Yeah, because it takes some time for you to actually start seeing results. It's essentially a self-sustaining virtuous cycle, but for it to get there, it's going to take some time. It may take you 6 months, it may take you 9 months. So we always advise people, hey, don't start panicking before 9 months. So if you were to ask me what are the 2 qualities of successful sellers that are in common despite their different background, despite difference where they're from, that would be discipline and patience, apart from finding the right product.
Srinidhi, you told me about earlier the kind of category item that you would export if you were wanting to do it. Let's say it's not you doing it, right? Let's say it's 3 young or even second innings Indians that want to start. In your experience, can you drill down on maybe 2 or 3 categories and items in the same excruciating detail, right? Because that's where the value is.
Okay, I already talked about, I think bed linen, I already talked about that. Area rugs is another thing that I would pick up, carpets, right? And the speciality of, area rugs or carpets in India is that they're eco-friendly, number one. They're not machine made. Everything is hand tufted. So it's actually a great cottage industry. I mean, we're calling it a cottage industry, but the exports of carpets that happen outside of India is not funny at all. It's close to around $2 billion, right, every year. So I would go there, right? I would look for these hand tufted carpets.
It's now time to play a game, Srinidhi, and it's called Time Machine Rapid Fire with Srinidhi.
Okay.
So think of this as 2030. Amazon has done $80 billion in
hopefully more
cumulative export. Hopefully more.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, you're going to answer these questions that I ask you like we are in 2030.
Oh, okay.
And the trick is, you don't use more than 3 words.
Yeah, that's a difficult trick to pull off. Okay, but we'll try.
You just woke up and opened your WhatsApp. What's the first message you saw?
Okay, I'll give a context and I'll give you the answer, right? I mean, knowing Amazon, most probably it will be from a manager asking about what the next milestone is.
Then you came across a book which has stories of the global journey of Indian sellers. What would be the title of this book?
I think it's the tagline that we always keep using. It will be India se Duniya tak. And I think nothing could be more apt than that.
Which brings me to the next question, which is related. In the global market, India is known as the land of dash.
I think India is known for a lot of things, but if you were to put a gun on my head and seeing the trends today, I would say that cotton-based home textiles, cotton-based apparel, carpets, beauty, health and personal care.
And those are the hints of what categories are doing well.
Yeah. I mean, those are not, मैं openly बता रहा हूँ, they're not the hints. I think ये चल रहे हैं और ये चलेंगे.
Then your AI assistant congratulated you. What is that going to be about?
I don't know. I think, as I said, again, knowing Amazon, I don't think we're going to build AI agents to congratulate us, but more to challenge us. And I think the challenge will be very similar to what I would have received on my WhatsApp message. Would you like to work on the 2040 milestone now?
And the final rapid fire. When people say Korea, they think of K-beauty, K-pop, Europe, cheese, chocolates. For India, what would that be in 2030?
All the stuff that I already named, right? Cotton, carpets and Ayurveda.
Wow. That brings us to a close of this very insightful conversation. A lot more resources I have added in the description because we can only pack so much, right? The how-tos. The entire idea here was to talk about things that you could not find answers to on Google. And we needed Srinidhi, the brains behind Amazon Global Selling of India. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was a great conversation.
Absolutely.
Thanks.